Hey folks, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got two knives that we're going to look at today. I'm not really going to compare them one with another. It's just that both of them are quite similar, and I'd like to show them both off. They are both wooden-handled, Russlock style, Wharncliffe blades that are a very low price. And I got these recently. I bought this one through Amazon.com. I had it sent to my sister in Nebraska, and she shipped it up to me. $11.64, something like that, US. It's an Eafenagrow. EF11 is the model number. We've got, they call them redwood, although I don't think it's redwood, but it's a, wooden handle, steel liners, Russlock handle. So it's not technically a lock, but when your thumb is over the end of the handle here, it's locked from going and closing onto your fingers. And so they call that a Russlock. It's got two hollow screws in here. So the pivot screw is hollow. And then this body screw at the back is also hollow. And I tied a little bit of shock cord to it. And, we got a hollow grind Wharncliffe blade. The other one that we're looking at is also a Russlock. Now this one, don't mind the lanyard, that didn't come with it. It's a solid piece of wood. So it's one piece of wood where they just cut a little bit of a trench out of it and used a rivet to pin the blade into place. Russlock, we've got a Wharncliffe blade here. Well, it might be called a sheep's foot because the blade does actually have some belly on this one. On this one, we've got a saber grind, so a flat grind that comes almost to the back. This guy is very, very light indeed. And I've totally forgotten where I got this from. I've been looking through my emails, looking through different websites to see if I can see it somewhere. And I can't recall for the life of me where this came from. Did somebody send this to me as a gift? I don't think so, but it's possible. I should look through my unboxing videos. Maybe it's in one of those. But even then, if it was a package that my sister sent to me, I wouldn't know exactly where. I'm going to try to look for it. If you know where this knife is from, and I'll give you a close-up still shot right now. So if you recognize this knife and know where it is sold, please send me a link to where it goes in the comment section below, but even better, send me an email at canadiancuttingedge@gmail.com so that I can get all the credentials and everything for it, because I don't know what kind of steel it is, and it looks like it might be a cherry wood, or maybe it's some kind of mahogany. It's hard to tell exactly what kind of wood it is, but it's a very light little knife. So we're going to take a look at these two knives. They're very similar and yet somewhat unique. And so stick around for the overview review of these two knives coming at you right now. So first I'll go over the dimensions of this thing and the details. It says D2 steel right there. We've got a hollow grind, of course, Wharncliffe. Flat edge here, that's why I call it a Wharncliffe. If it's got a belly, then we call it a sheep's foot. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It doesn't really matter what they're called. And these hollow holes here have got a slot through them, so you can use a large screwdriver to unscrew it to take these apart. Nice thick liners, decent thickness for the blade, and there's a stop pin right there. And of course, I added this shock cord afterwards. So let's do all the dimensions for this. Cutting edge, 5.7 centimeters, 2.26 inches. The full length of the blade, so tip of the blade to the closest spot on the handle, 6.1 centimeters, 2.4 inches. The blade thickness is 3.1 millimeters, that's 0.122 inches. The blade depth is 2.45 centimeters, that's 0.96 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is 0.6 millimeters, that's 0.0235 inches. The handle length is 8.97 centimeters, 3.35 inches. And the grip area is this distance in here between my two thumbs, 7.7 centimeters, 3 inches. The handle thickness is 1.85 centimeters, that's 0.727 inches. So 3/4 of an inch thick, basically. The handle depth, it's biggest right here between my index fingers, 2.38 centimeters, which is 0.936 inches. The total length open is 14.38 centimeters, which is 5.84 inches. It weighs 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. I bought it for $11.99 at Amazon.com, and no shipping charge because I did a trial for Amazon Prime right then. This knife, we don't know what kind of steel it is. I suspect it's a stainless steel. And what we have is a cutting edge that is 5.1 centimeters, 2 inches. Blade length, so wood to the tip, is 5.48 centimeters, 2.16 inches. The blade thickness is 2 millimeters, 0.081 inches. The blade depth is 1.54 centimeters, that's 0.6 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind is exactly the same as this knife, 0.6 millimeters, 0.0235 inches. The grip area and the handle length are the same because you can see the longest edge is this edge here. So handle length, grip area, 8.3 centimeters, 3.26 inches. The handle thickness is 1.09 centimeters, 0.43 of an inch. And the handle depth is biggest right here in the middle, 1.8 centimeters, 0.71 of an inch. Complete length of this, tip to tail, 13.85 centimeters, 5.45 inches. Just slightly shorter than the other guy, but it's only 22 grams, 0.8 of an ounce. So we've got 3.5 ounces or 0.8 of an ounce. So that's two very big differences. The other big differences are this is a stainless steel and this is apparently D2. I didn't do a corrosion test. I didn't really have time for this. It's probably just a stainless steel. I don't trust Eafenagrow yet. And the other, I have looked at one other Eafenagrow knife, or is it Eafenagrow? I'm not sure. And I might be saying even that incorrectly, but I think this is probably a stainless steel knife because you can get this exact same knife through GearBest for $12.64 US. And the only difference is it says Seidel, SYDLL on the blade right here. That's the brand name. That's about 1661 Canadian, 1082 euros, and 955 pounds. So you can get this very same knife. It looks identical with these holes and these the pivot pins and everything. Everything looks exactly the same except for the labeling on it. And Eafenagrow is a relabeler, a rebrander, and so is Seidel. So it's probably exactly the same knife. I suspect this is stainless steel. So a heavier knife and a smaller, lighter knife. Two very good options. I like how either one of them holds. If you're looking for something super light, this guy might be a great choice, especially if you need to have a knife that doesn't have a locking blade. In North America, we can have locking blades almost everywhere, but if you're in some other country, sometimes you can't have locking blades that you carry, and a Russlock is a really good option because when you're using it, it's very safe in hand. I like to carry my Russlocks often with putting my fingers through the hole, through the loop of the lanyard, and around the knife and holding it like this. It gives me a greater sense of security. I don't know if it actually is more security or not. It might be psychological, but it's a good hand feel, and using the knife like that, it just works really well for me. So it's just an option that I like to do in either the right or the left hand. The other option is when you are not using it, if you're going to be on and off the blade and doing other things, it's easy just to let go of it, do what you need to do with your hands, and then get it back and use it again. And so that works either with paracord or with shock cord. You can do the exact same things with it and hold the knife that way, and it locks in place and it's easy to use. I really like how this blade comes down a long ways. It makes it easier if I'm cutting down on something. I can give it this kind of pinch grip and I can cut right down onto a table surface. You know, if I wanted to, if this is my pocket when I'm camping and I'm just doing a little bit of food prep or something, it's really easy to use that. So this kind of knife with the blade coming down is a good thing. I like to carry this knife actually in this pouch. This is actually a Ganzo pouch. I've got some other of these smaller pouches, and you know, the knife just sort of fits in there and the cord outside, and then I put it on my belt and I carry it on my hip that way. Very comfortable that way. Sometimes I just drop it in my pocket and carry it that way. Either way works very well. This one's so light and it's got enough friction in here that it's not going to open easily at all. And so I just have been dropping this in my pocket and carrying it that way. So really good hand feel for both of these, comfortable in hand. It's the sizes that fit almost everybody, except for the extra large hands of some big guys. The price is right. I'm sure the price was right on this one because I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. I just wish I could remember exactly where I bought it. You know, this one here's got a slight defect on the handle right here, but that's also character because let's zoom in on that. Let's get the light just right. So that's just where there's been a knot, and so there's a little bit of a hole there and stuff. Not a big deal. That's just character on the blade, on the handle, I should say. So I really like these. These are nice. They're economical. They're a good choice. If you've not had this style of knife before, why don't you consider getting one, even if you're in North America where you can have locking knives. It's just another style of knife that is, you know, worth considering in your own collection. If you're a real knife enthusiast, well, there's different kinds of knife enthusiasts, just like there's different kind of car collectors. Some guys only want hot rods as far as car collectors go. Other people want classics. Other people want whatever. And some guys collect just about a little bit of everything. Same thing with knife collectors. Some people just want wee little knives. Some people just want fixed blades. Some people just want locking knives. Some people just want, you know, whatever. But if you are new into collecting, I encourage you to try all kinds of different things to see which it is that triggers your own particular passion the most. Don't let anybody tell you what is the best knife to collect. If you're new to the hobby, or even if you've been in the hobby for a while, I encourage you to try all kinds of stuff just to get, you know, a wide exposure to it. And choosing budget stuff your first time around is often a good idea if you can find good quality budget knives. These two, I say, are good enough quality budget knives that they're worth considering. Get some exposure on them. They work well. They cut well. I really like this, you know, gradual Wharncliffe tip here. It's nice and strong. It's been great for opening any kind of packaging and stuff. And, you know, the hollow grind is a strong enough grind at that thickness that it's a good knife. This little guy is so convenient because it's so super light, as I've talked about before. So this even works on a keychain because of its lightness. Really, really like it an awful lot. So thanks for watching my little video. Please leave your comments, share your opinions, ask any questions. If you definitely want me to answer your question, email me at canadiancuttingedge@gmail.com because I can't always get to all the comments because of time constraints. I'm getting a little bit busy this week again because we're having most of the family come down for Father's Day, and that's just in a few days. So I've got to get the house ready and stuff for that. We'll help my wife clean up because, you know, her husband leaves a mess all over the place. The guy's just messy. So I've got to help her clean up the this mess that the guy's left around the place. So I'm going to be busy for the next little while. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.